Hello, I'm a nostalgia critic. I remember it so you don't have to. Hey kids, it's best not to do drugs. Why? Because it's bad for you, it kills your brain cells, it makes you stupid, you could get arrested for it, and it's really, really addictive, which means that it's hard to stop doing. So, if you don't want to go through all that stuff, just stay away from drugs. Why is that so hard? Just tell your kids the truth and they'll get the idea. But nope, public service announcements want to scare the shit out of us by making it look like drugs came from the devil. And if you take drugs, you turn into one of his evil little minions. These PSAs were so far-fetched you couldn't help but laugh at them. Which is why today, I am bringing you the top 11 greatest drug PSAs ever. Why top 11? Because I like to go one step beyond. So, pull up a couch and enjoy what I'm sure is medicinal in your hand. This is the top 11 greatest nostalgic drug PSAs. Number 11. I used to see this one all the time when I was a kid, and to be honest, I kind of liked it. It was short, sweet, it had a lot of energy to it. But here's the thing, their tagline is be an original. So wouldn't that technically mean not listening to what the TV is telling me to do? It's kind of like a weird Zen riddle. If I do what the TV tells me, I won't be an original. But if I don't do what the TV tells me, I'll be following everyone else. God, I wish I had some drugs. My other problem with this is that the drugs in this PSA don't even look like drugs. They look like some sort of weird alien technology. The real tagline should have been just say no to radioactive gerblical plaques, because intergalactic crack is whack. Say no! Right to say no! Number 10. This one starts off with a father talking to his 13-year-old son.
I figured when you were old enough, I'd talk to you about drugs.
Okay, well this doesn't seem too bad. After all, it is important to talk to your kids about drugs and make sure that they don't go down the wrong path. Oh my god, he's dead! He's dead! He's talking to a dead boy! He's dead! Drugs took his life! Oh my god! What a twist! He just M. Night Shyamalan my ass! You know, there's a lot of PSAs about how parents should talk to their kids about drugs, but they were always shown during Saturday morning cartoons. And if you're like every other parent in the world, you haven't woken up to see Saturday morning in years. It's your day off and you're gonna sleep. Sleep like the dead! Oh, sorry, I didn't mean that deadline. Condolences.
If you don't teach your kids to say no to drugs, it's as good as saying yes.
Number 9. Here's a weird little PSA that actually gives drugs its very own theme song. Is it me, or does it sound like this PSA is actually promoting drugs? And if that's not bad enough, there's actually parts of the song where they talk about the good things that drugs do.
Drugs can make you better when you're feeling ill.
Mixing the signal there, guys. Now, to be fair, they do talk about bad drugs too, but it's hard to hear because you can barely make it out.
There's lots of other drugs that sure have a paw.
That are sure to have a paw?
Let's struggle with the law.
Let's struggle with the law?
Which are good, which are bad.
I don't know which are good and which are bad. The way you're saying it, I don't even know what the hell drugs are!
Drugs. Ask your mama, ask your dad.
Number 8. Though this really isn't as much about drugs as it is about smoking, this Star Wars PSA definitely deserves mentioning. Why? Because it actually shows R2-D2 lighting up. What the hell? I didn't even know robots had lungs to damage!
Well, I don't think smoking is grown up at all.
Yes, now golden robots and trash cans on wheels, that's very adult. Seriously, who even knew R2-D2 was addicted? Cigarettes are hard to beat, and my guess is that R2 didn't back down quite as easily as they let on.
R2, you're on fire! R2-D2, you found a cigarette. Well, I don't think smoking is grown up at all. Smoking does dreadful things to your lungs, and is very bad for your heart. I know I don't have one, but humans do, and I think we should set a good example. Well done, R2.
Breaking a habit is hard.
Don't smoke.
Number 7. This one is just weird. It doesn't even really say drugs are bad or anything. It just... well, watch it.
I do coke, so I can work longer. So I can earn more. So I can do more coke. So I can earn more. So I can do more coke. So I can earn more. So I can do more. So I can work more.
Yeah, never let David Lynch direct a drug PSA. I mean, it makes no sense. So the guy does some coke, runs around like the Roadrunner, and then disappears into a The End credit? I never even saw a PSA that had a The End credit before. My guess is that they commissioned the writer from The Shining to write this shit up, and they just put some visuals in at the end.
How do you like it?
Number 6. This is another one that has one of those quote-unquote twist endings. It's just a woman who's about to take a dive in the pool while the narrator talks about drugs.
Doing drugs is like being on top of the world. Everyone says so.
Okay, no problem so far. Nothing really bad's going on here. Oh my god, there's no water! There's no water in the pool! Oh my god, there's no water in the pool! Oh my god! What a twist! Honestly, I know I'm supposed to be horrified by this, but all I'm really thinking about is if the mark she left in the pool looked like this. You know, that kind of Wile E. Coyote look. I don't think her hair would weigh so much that it would leave an indent, but you get the idea.
You just better know what you're jumping into.